Hello, Internet, and welcome to another episode of Thursday's Children here on GameKnights. Sorry, we were talking about creepy stuff right before we went live. No, I can't stop laughing. We are here to play Vaesen. So thematically appropriate. It is a Nordic horror role-playing game, and these wonderful folks are going to play it with me today. But before we get started, I don't think I have any specific programming notes for the channel, but we have got several live streams coming up this week, as we always do. Our next live stream after this is on Tuesday. We'll have a new episode of Tabletop Tuesdays, and those fools are playing masks this week. So look forward to that. Oh, I guess that's a good programming note. Tabletop Tuesdays has moved a little bit later now, so they're starting at 8 p.m. Eastern time instead of 7 where they were before, because job schedules have moved around a little bit. So join them at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then obviously after that, we'll have all of our regularly scheduled shows. We have Elliot Magics on Thursday where we play Good Society. Some of us are there for that. We have Neon Souls on Friday. We're playing Cypher System. That's our cyberpunk game where we keep saying we're going to do a murder and then get distracted by kissing each other. And then we have Saturday Night's Star Power this week on Saturday. And then we'll be back around for this. So yeah, if you're live with us on Twitch, that whole schedule is down below our faces on our drop page. If you are with us in the future, perhaps on the YouTubes, you can find that schedule pinned to our Discord. You can find it pinned to our Twitter. And you can also head over to our Twitch page and see it there. And you can also follow and subscribe while you're there. Easy peasy. Just press the button. It's right above the schedule. I don't really think I have anything else other than we've got new merch in our merch store. It's another dumb thing that I made based on dumb things that these people have said. So you can buy another Neon Souls shirt or tank top or mug with our new Gubba Bump Shrimp Company logo for the giant predatory hallucinogenic land walking shrimp. So check that out. It looks really good on a tank top and a mug and a t-shirt. I'm pretty proud of it. I think that's it for announcement related things. I'm gonna let these folks around me introduce themselves, tell you who they are, where you can find them on the internet, and who they are playing today, starting with the illustrious Sid.
Oh, hi, that's me. Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the Twitters at Greek Sid, usually talking about all the fun stuff I'm doing here and beyond. I am here on and off Thursday through Sundays. I'm on and off on Saturdays. I'm on Star Power Saturdays. Yay! I'm gonna start using that. Alex said that on Thursday, and I like that description. Yeah. We had quite a Thursday for that Good Society game that I'm hearing so much about. Yeah, we left on a bit of a cliffhanger that RJ is still mad about. Like literally, he's still in my DMs on Discord. Like, I'm so mad at you. Like, it's okay, it'll be fine. Y'all will save the day. And I will also be tomorrow on twitch.tv/InfiniteRP. We're doing our Flames of Freedom game. I play a translator. I speak every language ever. Also, my cosplay is on point, so come check it out. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern on Mondays. Today, I am playing Tilda Grunberry. Tilda is the writer.
I think that's me. Yep. Okay. My name is Morgan. I'm Imagine Matrix on the internet. I'm mainly a cosplayer, so if you're interested in that, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter, and I play dress up, and it's a lot of fun. Fridays, I'm here playing Neon Souls, which is also a lot of fun. I play Clarity the Hacker, and I love her, and I never want to stop playing her. And there's that. And then today, I am playing Alina Yarvinen, who is the occultist.
Hello, I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me at LB Hackemup on the Twitters and the Twitches. I do a lot of things, including after this, I'm going to be running a D&D game on my channel, LB Hackemup on Twitch. We are going to be jumping back into the world of the Playthings of the Gods. They just got to Waterdeep, and oh boy, I prepped a lot of stuff that, we'll see what they do. But tonight I am going to be playing Villiblom. She is the servant.
And then that's me. Hello, everybody. I'm Val at the Kraken's Crown on Twitter and Twitch. You can find me here Thursdays through Sundays playing and running games. A few of them have been mentioned, but I'll go ahead and plug them again. Neon Souls on Fridays. It's a Cypher System cyberpunk game where we're finally gonna do the thing that we've been trying to do for the last 3 weeks. We're gonna get there. As they're trying to assassinate a nemesis of their gang, and they're in the car on their way. I promise I'm gonna get them there this week, come hell or high water. So join us for that at 9 o'clock on Friday, and then Star Power Saturdays this week. We're gonna be playing more Fate in our JoJo's Bizarre Universe or Bizarre Adventure inspired universe. Kind of getting into some more Jujutsu Kaisen, paranormal investigative hunting sort of thing. They're hunting a
Ghost of Elvis.
The ghost of Elvis. A phantom fish luring people to their death with illusions of Elvis.
An anglerfish.
An angler, an Elvis
Yes.
anglerfish.
They've been calling it Elfish. So that's what we're going with. And then we had our first session yesterday, so check it out on YouTube or join us in 2 weeks for our next session of Saturday Night's Mistborn. We're playing the Mistborn RPG, and we got to meet our characters last time, kind of had a chill episode of kind of building the team and a little bit of an origin story. But we're going to be kicking off our next session with some cool Mistborn fighting and on a rooftop in the middle of the night. Very classic Brandon Sanderson kind of bullshit that I'm getting myself into right away. That's everything that I've got going on right now, and tonight I'm going to be playing Dr. Danni Madsen, who is the doctor.
It's always funny every time you do it.
I'm going to stop. I'm done. I'm leaving.
You're going to stop what?
Playing. I'm gone for the stream. Y'all deal with this yourself. Bye-bye.
Val, no,
Thanks for joining
Val,
us,
back.
everyone. No, you don't. No.
Val, come
No.
back, please.
Don't enable these tantrums.
Val.
Bye.
Bye.
It's the bye that did it.
I've been summoned.
You good?
Like the Candyman. Yes.
We said bye 5 times. And you came back. All right. You guys ready to play a game?
Yeah.
All righty. Let's see. I wrote a recap this time. Last time on Thursday's Children, the society arrived in the village of Fialbaka and set about investigating. After finding the priest who brought them to Herring Country, Father Udgrin, the group split up, with Villy and Tilda staying at the church to hear the father's story, and Alina and Danni setting off to meet with the local coroner / butcher / doctor / barber, Jonathan, and examine the dead vicar's body. After determining that the vicar was most likely murdered, spooky, the four set off for the infamous Wrecker Isle, noticing they were being followed along the way. They briefly toured the inn, simply called the Inn, met Godmother Abella, and settled in, having a drink and asking after the man who found the body of the deceased vicar, Sven. After hearing his story and using his clear interest in Alina to gain his trust, they convinced him to show them where he found the body. Sven took the four down to the beach behind the inn, near the warehouse that contains the herring saltery, where they discovered, thanks to Tilda's keen eye, a crucifix and a blood trail. both partially buried in the sand. As they debated searching the nearby warehouse, they were startled by a flash of lightning and a sudden clap of thunder as a storm rolled in quickly, seemingly from nowhere. So we're going to pick back up where we left off. As the thunder claps overhead and lightning strikes out in the bay, what do you do?
Should we head towards the warehouse, see if we can find any further clues there?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you quite alright?
Fine, I'm fine. Kind of looks at Alina. Yes, let's get inside, quickly. I don't want to get caught in the rain. Doctor, do you need any of this blood for anything?
No. Because I can't think of any sort of medical thing that I could do with blood in the 1800s.
Fair.
Was blood typing
Alina,
even an event?
do you need this? Could you use this blood for anything?
Villy?
Villy puts her arm around Alina and, like, kind of holds her close. I think it's best we get inside now, then.
All right, good. Right.
Just a shoulder rub, and it's all right, love. It's all right. We'll get inside.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the four of you head toward the huge yellow warehouse as it starts to rain. There are claps of thunder overhead. It's fairly close. You're pretty nearby already, so you make your way inside and out of the storm.
Everyone all right?
Uh-huh.
Maybe.
It'll be fine. She goes into her bag and takes out her lantern and then sets up a little metal disc on sort of legs, takes off the top of the lantern and places a teapot on top of it and starts boiling some water.
Did you just pull out a camp stove?
Sure did.
That's amazing.
Great. I love that. All right, so Villy sets up her teapot.
Oh, right. I have one of, yes. Tilda will pull out an actual lantern, because I did actually buy one of those, and set it up so we can see better in here.
I'm sorry, we're in the warehouse that we just broke into, right? Are we camping or breaking and entering?
Well, I think we all could use with a cup of tea, don't you?
That seems highly ill-advised considering that we're trespassing right now. Perhaps we find what we want and then enjoy creature comforts later.
Well, I'm not stopping you. Go ahead.
Right.
As you go to set up your equipment, pull out your lantern, and I assume slide the warehouse door closed behind you, especially those of you that are struggling with the storm a little bit. As the adrenaline starts to wear off just a tad, the smell of this place hits you. I need everybody to roll force, please. Because you just shut yourselves inside of and then lit up two sources of warmth inside a herring saltery.
All right.
One success.
Okay.
0 successes.
Okay.
I rolled 8 dice, and I got 1.
All was double checking if I had anything for this, but it's only human bodies.
I rolled 2 dice and got 1.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
I got 0.
Okay. Danny and Alina, while you are inside the warehouse, you are exhausted. Please mark the exhausted condition. And all you can smell, all of you, but especially the two of you, is this very unpleasant, sort of sour smell of fish being processed, salt, and the very strong smell of train oil.
Train oil?
Was ist
Train
das?
oil? I don't know
You
what
oil trains with it, I assume.
The oil that make the train go.
Train
Got
on oil?
It doesn't run on it, but it's needed for the maintenance of the trains and
Got it.
other large pieces of machinery, which as Tilda lights up her lantern and you look around the inside of the space, you see there is a big mishmash of large sort of pieces of machinery, barrels of this oil off to one side, and barrels of fish off to the other. It's not a pleasant place to be. And then you think about how people work here for probably 12 hours a day. What would you like to do now that two of you are on the verge of vomiting?
Further evidence, we need to be out of here as soon as possible.
Oh, doctor, do you have any of that cream or something? Oh,
I doubt it would do much good in here.
I've got some if you like. Pass
please.
it over. Savannah, I have a technical question for you.
Certainly.
That, I just got very curious about. Is whale oil flammable? The train oil?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, boy. Right.
We're getting dishonored up in this bitch.
Oh, boy. Is there anything... what specifically are we looking for?
Signs of a murder.
Right. Eyes down, then. Look for blood.
Right. Guess we'd start searching for signs of a murder,
Yeah.
other than signs of the murder of fish.
Danny pulls
And,
out their
and our nostrils.
Danny pulls out their magnifying glass to begin searching for clues.
All right. Danny's searching for clues. Tilda's searching for clues. Is anybody doing anything other than searching for clues?
I'm making tea, damn it.
You're making tea. Okay,
The most
great.
useful.
Yes.
You want me to punch something? I could punch something, but that's what I got.
Punch the smell.
As you search around, what kind of tea are you making? Because I want everybody to think about how it's going to mix with the smell of oil and terrible, sour, salty fish.
Fuck, was it chamomile?
Oh, that's a smelly
Morgan?
one,
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, chamomile's got its own little stank, but at least it's kind of earthy, so that's
too.
not...
Yes, the earthy smell of chamomile tea just contributes to the madness that is this terrible, terrible building.
Is it even strong enough to do that?
Right around you, Billy, there's a little extra pungent, earthy tea smell. It just mixes with everything else.
I imagine that Billy's probably has not smelled something worse than this, but she's like she's just, it doesn't seem to phase her, but her stomach is definitely turning.
I buy that. All right, searching for clues, making tea. What's Alina doing?
Cowering.
Oh, okay.
She just kind of like curls up next to Billy and like buries her head in her knees.
Makes me so sad. All right.
Billy starts humming a tune.
All right. Those of you that are searching, please roll. I guess this is investigation. The two of you that are looking, adding your magnifying glass and other tools as you wish.
No successes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 dice.
Starting off strong.
0.
9 dice, 1 success.
Got him. Okay. The other two of you who are not searching, would you roll vigilance for me, please?
Ooh, we get +1 to that with the lamp.
Okay.
That's part of the lamp, is it prevents people from being sneaky.
Okay, 1 for Villy.
Does everyone need to roll vigilance, or is that just the other two?
No, just the other two.
Okay.
And 2 for Alina. Okay. So the two of you that are searching, who got the success? Was that Danny? Danny, you and your magnifying glass find something this time. So proud of you. You search around, and Tilda, you don't really find anything at first.
Still a little freaking out by the storm too. So
yeah. The storm and the thunder outside sort of distracting you. You search around, sort of around the herring barrels and the machinery. You don't necessarily know how this stuff works, but it doesn't look like anything is out of place necessarily. There's lots of barrels of lots of fish. Danny, on the other side of the warehouse, I assume trying to stay as far away from the herring as possible. You make your way around a few of these large barrels that have this oil in them for the running of the machinery, and you come around the side, and at first you see what you think is there's a dark spot on the ground, and I think at first you probably think it is a little bit of this oil that has leaked out, but as you go to continue looking, through your magnifying glass, I guess, you pick up just the smallest glint of metal, of something that looks like it has fallen to the ground. I guess like the light glinting off of the couple of lanterns that you guys have going now. You see something like a gold sheen on the ground right next to this dark spot.
Danny will approach it and try to identify what it is.
Okay. Yeah, you look down. It's kind of hard to see, well, I would say, without picking it up, except you have a magnifying glass. So there you go. Problem solved. You kneel down and sort of look closer, and you see a chain, like a very small, thin chain, like a necklace of some kind. But hanging off of it is a very small, probably, I don't know, like an inch in height, gold crucifix.
I think we'll pick that up. Maybe not wanting to touch it, but with like a pen, or I don't know what we have. Kind of small.
You can have a pen.
Okay.
An ink pen.
Yeah, we'll just like pick that up to inspect it. Is there any like is this oil on it, or is it blood?
I'm just gonna stick with. Normally, I would make people roll for this, but you're a doctor. I'm not gonna make you roll to see if things are blood. It's blood.
Okay.
It seems silly to make you roll and maybe not know that what you're looking at is blood. You cut people open for a living.
That seems fair. I think Danny would be able to identify dried blood over other substances.
Yeah. Well, you can also tell, I mean, if you hold it up close to you, like oil, especially like this kind of oil, has a very like pungent smell. And it's just not, it's not there.
So this is, I'm assuming it's pretty dark over here if I'm not right next to Tilda with her lantern.
Yeah.
So we'll call out, say, Tilda, bring the light over here, please.
What do you got?
I believe I might have found where our vicar met his end. Shows the crucifix.
What about the other one?
The other one.
The other crucifix? The one outside. How many bloody crucifixes, literally and figuratively, are we talking here?
I'm not sure. I forgot that we found a crucifix outside. Yeah, unfortunately,
I've
it
seen.
was,
That one would have been a little bit bigger and wooden.
So that one was like a crucifix you hold, like
Yeah.
a. Okay, this is a
One around your neck.
piece of jewelry,
like a
Okay.
necklace, yeah.
We should look around and see if there's more blood nearby. Also, should see if we could find the weapon to confirm. Danny will like search around, even like get down on their hands and knees to like look under equipment and stuff to see if like the pistol might be nearby, maybe got knocked under something, or if there's any other blood showing like a trail leading out of the warehouse or something,
Maybe a bullet hole.
or that, yeah.
Yeah. Danny. Go ahead and just roll medicine for me.
Okay. Is this
This is looking at blood.
okay. So check. All right. I don't think anything I had would apply here. Damn. That's 4 ones.
Wow.
I can take a condition to roll again, right?
You can push.
Yes, you can push the roll.
Do I have to take a physical condition or can I take a mental condition?
I think it's either. Let me look. Failed skill tests. Fail skill tests means something detrimental or unexpected happens to you. Once per action, you can push the roll and try again. Choose a condition. Okay, physical if you're using physique or precision. Mental if you're using logic or empathy.
Okay, so
So this
technically
is
I'm
based
using,
on what skill you're using.
I'm using precision here for medicine. So I didn't know if
I'm gonna immediately say I'm making a call on this rule and say this would be mental.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna roll again. I get to
So
roll
I'll
before I
say-
mark the condition, though, right?
Yes, you roll before you mark the condition. You can mark a mental condition. I will say for this, you can roll with logic
Okay.
if you're trying again.
Okay.
So you would add, I think you would add an extra dice.
I would. Yeah. All right. So I'll just roll investigation because it's the same. I have the same amount of skills, but that one uses
Yeah.
logic instead. All right.
And then
So
you take
I
the
will-
condition after that.
I will push the roll. That's 3 successes.
Okay.
Oh, that's it. Okay. I do have a rules question here because this is
Mhm.
interesting. So, physical conditions on the it looks like what the sheet's doing is it's only applying physical conditions to physical attributes and
Mhm.
mental conditions to mental attributes.
Mhm.
But I have a skill that lets me ignore mental conditions when using medicine, and medicine is a physical. Or a talent that lets me do that.
Let me look.
Because either so there's something wrong with the sheet or there's an inconsistency in the rules.
Let me look.
Yeah. Because so technically,
Because I thought the way the sheet did it right way.
Because I rolled 8 dice there.
Yes, physical conditions add a penalty to skills related to physique and precision. Mental conditions add a penalty to skills related to logic and empathy.
That's in the rule book.
Yes, that's from the
Okay.
rule book.
Then
So there's
why
an
is there a-
inconsistency in that talent.
Okay, so emergency medicine should let me be able to ignore physical conditions instead of mental conditions?
Yes, because you use
Okay.
precision. Yeah,
Alright.
that's wrong.
All right. Can I roll before I...
Good
well,
catch.
I already rolled again. I'm not going to worry about it, so I need to make sure I ignore conditions when I'm using medicine from now on. But I'll stick with this.
You can roll the extra dice if you want. Because you would have gotten one more die.
On my first roll. The second one did it correctly.
Okay.
But I already marked it, so I'm not going to go back. But so yeah, 3 successes, and I'm marking the angry condition.
Okay. All right. So bank the other 2. Danny, you start to become incredibly frustrated as you continue to look around this warehouse. You look under machinery. You try as best you can, probably with help from the stronger members of your teams, to move some of these barrels out of the way, looking for anything else, any more evidence, any more blood. And you don't find anything, which is frustrating because you don't find anything else to answer these questions that you have. But also very strange because once you've sort of shifted these barrels out of the way, and you stop and you look down at this bloodstain on the ground, and you think back to just the little bit of blood that you found out in the sand, and you look down at this. This is not enough blood for somebody to have died here by a long shot.
There's no sign of a trail or anything that where this came from.
No, there is essentially there is this blood stain here. It looks like it came from an injury of some sort. There are a few droplets that you find sort of leading through the warehouse to that spot where you found them in the sand. And there aren't any others.
There's something very fishy about all of this.
Is that supposed to be a joke?
A poor one, I will admit.
Oh.
Our vicar wasn't killed here.
No? Are you
No.
sure?
There isn't enough blood to account for a wound of the magnitude that I'd witnessed.
But
Unless it was cleaned somehow, but I doubt this place has been cleaned in months.
could they perhaps have just cleaned up that particular spot, tried to cover their tracks?
Looks around a bit. Does it look like any spots that are suspiciously cleaner than others?
No, this place is nasty.
No. No, I doubt it. It's possible he was killed elsewhere, the body brought here for some reason, and then deposited over
Into the surf.
into the surf. But if it was brought here, then whoever committed the act would likely have some familiarity or comfort in this place, I would imagine.
Which means either the owners or literally anyone that works here. But Alina saw a group of people
Yes.
and then felt the vicar get shot. So there were at least other people nearby, so I guess it's possible they could have carried the body somewhere. Oh, do you need to be in here any longer? Can we go, please?
I think I found everything I need here. No sign of the weapon, though, so we need to keep looking for that. I suspect
Damn
whoever
it.
has it is the one responsible.
All right. we please
Yes.
get out of here and go inside somewhere where it does not stink this badly of fish?
As Danny and Tilda are having this conversation, there is a large flash of lightning outside. Alina and Billy, you can both see through. There are these sort of like cutout windows around a couple of like strategically placed windows on the sides of the warehouse. And as this particularly large bolt of lightning flashes, it sort of lights up the outside for a moment, and you see, just for that brief split second, 2 figures standing at the window.
At the window, not just like outside?
Nope, at the window.
When the lightning flashes, Tilda instinctively clutches at the doctor because of the storm. And then immediately lets go.
I wasn't aware that you suffered from astrophobia.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Can we leave, please?
Right. Danny sort of shifts a bit, and we'll head back to the others with Tilda.
Billy's hand stops for a moment as she's stroking Elena's hair, and I think in that moment she kind of just, I think the tea's ready.
Alina saw this too, right? Good. Maybe we should take our tea somewhere else.
To go might be a good idea, yes. Stay close. Pack everything up. Start to slowly make our way towards where the other 2 went off to, keeping close to each other. Keeping an eye out for any other movement.
Okay. You do so, the 2 of you, sort of packing up these things and moving closer to the center of the warehouse. There's another flash of lightning outside, and there's nothing there.
The train oil, is it vialed?
It's in sort of these large, it's like big oil barrels, essentially, that are pushed up against one side of the warehouse.
Do they have an oil or do they have a sealed top?
They have like it's a sealed top, and then they have these large, almost like spouts that are on top, like that big, that could be like screwed open.
Okay. So I couldn't scoop some out. They're not that big.
I mean, they're about this big around, so depending on what you used, in theory, yeah, you could.
I think that would take too much time at this point, so I'll head back to the others.
Okay.
Doctor, Miss Tilda, I think it's time that we exit.
Yes, I believe we
Please.
found everything we need here.
There might be something. I saw something. Well, 2 somethings outside.
I saw it too.
Seem to be humanoid.
Right. We should be careful then, in case it's the culprit.
And to stay close. Let me go first. I'll go to the door.
Vidi, do you happen to be carrying your firearm on you?
Of course.
Right. Just making sure we're prepared.
Would you like it?
If you do not need it, I find myself in lack of any form of self-defense.
Yes, of
Tilda
course.
pulls her pistol.
Do you know how to use it?
Yes, I am aware on how to use the device.
Right. Do not put your finger on the trigger unless you mean to shoot something, alright?
I understand the basic premise of marksmanship, yes.
All right. Don't aim it at any person you don't want to shoot.
Takes it from her and begrudgingly withstanding the lecture.
I will go out the door first and look.
Okay. Billy goes to open the sliding warehouse door. The rain on the roof, which you've sort of been able to hear coming down this tin building, stops. Billy, you open the door. You look outside. You don't see anyone around. You don't see any movement or anything like that. You also don't see, other than the wet sand, any sign of the storm that was just outside. You look up. The sky is clear. Clouds are gone. The stars and the almost full moon are out.
Billy closes the door. It was raining, right? I didn't imagine that.
It was
Yes.
most certainly raining.
Right. The sky doesn't show any signs of rain or clouds in general.
Tilda looks outside. Oh,
Well, quick changes and shifts in weather, common at sea, perhaps our proximity to the ocean has contributed to its quick passage.
or we are dealing with a basin that has some measure of control over the weather.
Well, we have no confirmation or other reason to believe that this is anything supernatural involved with it yet.
Yet?
So I advise that we not jump to conclusions. Right now, we have every reason to believe this is simply a murder of necessity by the people that are living here.
Right.
Shall we go
Or
back
shall
to
we-
the inn?
Let us try.
Yes, I believe we better head.
Open the door again. Another quick peek, and then I'll lead everyone out.
Tilda's not looking out or about. She's looking up at the sky like, don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare.
Yeah, the sky is perfectly clear.
I could use a drink.
Me too.
Shall we?
I'm afraid I must agree.
Back rub. Walking back, keeping an eye.
All right.
On Alina,
The-
right? Because it was either on Tilda or the
Yeah,
doctor.
definitely
okay,
Alina.
okay. I was
She
like,
gives
that-
everyone a back rub on the way back.
Just a nice shoulder pat for Tilda.
Oh man.
All right. As the four of you head back into the inn, things have quieted down a bit inside, as it's getting a little bit late. There are still several people sort of hanging around, and you come in, shut the door behind you, and find a seat somewhere. You find a seat. The redheaded server, Justina, seeming to be the only one in the place, hesitates for just a second, and then comes back over to the four of you, asks if she can get you anything.
What's the stiffest drink you have?
Oh, we've I don't remember what she sounded like. Gonna make up something new. We've got pretty much every sort of liquor you can imagine.
Scotch, if you have it.
2, please.
All right.
I'll have an ale.
And I'll have one of those as well.
All right. 2 scotch, 2 ale. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
She makes her way to the bar.
That was Justina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I was thinking there's something that we could try that we haven't yet. I mean, I haven't tried it before myself, but I think I could probably manage it.
What's that?
A seance.
Oh. This might be fun.
Are you taking up a new side venture, Alina?
No,
you
I
wanted
just
to get into the theater. There's easier ways than that.
no, like a real one, not a fake one.
I thought they were all fake. Well,
I'm assuming most of them are, but I think I can make contact with the dead.
all right.
Perhaps not here, but
No, I wouldn't suggest in the middle of a bar room, however crowded or not.
something wrong, Doctor.
Nothing. Again, I'd rather not hang our hopes on this sort of frivolity, but if you think it might help.
What you have just called certain frivolity was the reason that we had any breaks whatsoever in our previous case. I think it's a great idea, Alina.
Oh.
When we return to our rooms, I think we should do it post-haste.
Is there anything we need?
No, not necessarily. I have a crystal ball and I think if I try, I can do it.
I believe you can.
I just think, why not ask the murder victim himself what happened?
That's a great idea.
Right. I hadn't really considered that. Usually in the transcendental movement, it's usually been some sort of spirit guide or some such fiddle that the seance medium brings about. We would actually speak to the poor man.
Hopefully.
Tilda, once we get the scotch, downs it.
Would you like another, miss?
Please.
Right away. She brings you back another scotch, and as she sets it down on the table, she starts to walk away. You hear a deeper voice call out to Justina as 2 people sidle up to your table, take 2 chairs from the table next to you, slam them down, and sit down alongside you. They are men in their 50s or so, sort of both stout brown hair that is pushed back and graying in identical outfits, sort of work clothes, sort of breeches and shirts covered in stuff. And
do they perhaps
smelling
look
of fish.
so do they look so similar that they could perhaps be, I don't know, brothers?
They look so similar that they could be twins.
Or
they sit down, and they call to Justina to bring them to drinks, and simultaneously sort of lean on the table. One of them reaches into his shirt pocket, pulls out a pocket watch, looks at it for a second, tucks it back in, as you're up awfully late, newcomers.
I'm sorry, what are your names?
I'm assuming you're either Pace and Paul, or Paul and Pete?
They point to themselves. One of them introduces himself as Pete, one of them as Pace.
That was the third option, wasn't it?
So, what brings you to our home?
Well, hopefully. Would it be possible for you to perhaps set up an interview of sorts with your brother?
They both say, which one?
Right, of course. The one whose initial name does not begin with P. Zacharias?
Zacharias. Well, one says, he's a very busy man, but fortunately for you, that's why we're here. The other one reaches into a pocket, and as you see, kind of pulls the extra fabric of his shirt back a little bit. You see a pistol tucked into his belt. Pulls out a sort of crumpled, what was once nicely folded piece of paper, and just sets it down on the table. Our brother is nothing if not hospitable. There you go. Dinner at the ice tomorrow.
Oh. That's extremely hospitable. Well, you've made my job easy. Thank you. Hand shaking a little bit, considering everything going on tonight. But we'll open the kind of crumpled letter.
Billy's just got
Yes.
eyes on the two of them.
They notice and don't really act like they care.
Still smiling, but keeping an eye.
Sure. Ever polite. Tilda, you open the note. It is written in impeccable penmanship and is a very polite, formal invitation to dinner with Zacharias Amundsen tomorrow evening at his estate.
Is there a dress code we should be aware of?
Oh, I think you'll do all right. Zacharias is the big fancy man, but wear what you're comfortable in and come hungry.
Let me guess. Herring?
All sorts.
Well, I wouldn't presume to speak for my friends, but I shall be there.
Yes, I see no reason to pass up the invitation.
They just sort of look at the other two of you.
Yeah, we're kind of looking at Alina and Villy like, the quicker you say it, the quicker they'll go away.
I'm sorry, of course we'll be going if the doctor's going. And she will as well.
Right. All right then. They both sort of down their drinks, lean on the table, simultaneously kind of stand up, and the one on the right, Pace, sort of nods to all of you and says, "Then we'll be seeing you tomorrow, Doctor."
Yes.
And they sort of nod to the rest of you. Miss Tilda, Miss Alina, you. And they walk away.
How did they know our names? Do you think Justina told them?
Or their brother. Does own the inn.
Yes, unfortunately, I believe our arrival was probably made its way across the isle at this point. It will make investigating difficult.
Yes. Down's your second scotch.
Well, if you
I
are
have a bit of
planning,
work. I'm sorry?
if you all are planning on this seance, I might have some other leads to look in on.
This evening.
Yes, I don't find myself ready to turn in just yet.
By yourself.
Absolutely not.
I'll be
Yes,
quite
I don't
alright.
think that's right. You know, it'd be good to have someone at the event who has an outside perspective. Someone who has a logical thinking about it.
I don't
That
see
way
why.
we don't get caught up in all the silliness of it.
I see what you're trying to appeal to here, but I don't think my presence will be required. You can let me know what you find out. I will trust your skills of observation.
Right.
You're not going by yourself.
No, of course, they're not.
Fine, I will wait till the morning when you are done with this.
Fine.
If you insist.
Then I will turn in for the evening.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night. Finishes their scotch, heads to their room.
I'll make sure that they actually stay in their room. Good night. Heads upstairs. Grabs a chair, asks for another glass of scotch, sits the chair outside the room, and waits to hear if they try to sneak out the window.
I was wondering when this was going to happen.
Then what?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Shall we?
Let's.
We'll go to either of their rooms, I guess.
Alina's, I think.
Right. So Danny goes off to their room for the night.
I was not planning on staying there.
Tilda sets up a chair outside as you order another scotch to ostensibly your room, and then Justina finds you sitting out in the hallway. Just kind of looks at you, starts to say something, isn't sure if she should say it, looks down at the floor, and then without making eye contact with you, Tilda just kind of says, I could bring you the bottle if you like, miss.
Absolutely, thank you.
Right away. She scurries off and brings you back a bottle, just the rest of the bottle of scotch.
I don't want to derail everything else we've going on, but since she's alone. Justina.
Yes, miss.
We may not have been entirely forthcoming with our relationship with the father, Oscar.
Right.
He very much wished to come here himself. He was very eager, in fact, and had to be most forcibly persuaded that it might not be in the best course of action for what we intend to do here with my interview, etc. Are you sure everything is all right?
Yes, miss, everything is quite all right. More all right than Oscar will ever believe. Trust me.
All right.
If he does ask after me, will you please tell him that? I know he doesn't like this place. The last time we spoke, he called it a den of sin.
I believe that phrase or something very close to that was thrown about several times, yes.
He means well. But I'm fine. Here. Really.
All right.
Good night, miss.
Good night.
While Tilda was distracted having that conversation,
Damn it!
Danny.
Is there a way I could have snuck out while she was having that conversation?
There's a window.
Okay, Danny will try to sneak out because I'm assuming he hears her in the hallway, heard the chair go out. I was like, damn it. Looks at the window. It's been some time since I've had to climb. It's not that high up. All right. Goes over, tries to get it open and climb outside. I don't know if we're on. I don't know if it's a single. I was assuming we're on like a second floor, but I don't know if that's the case or not.
It's all on one. It's
Oh,
all on
sweet.
one floor.
That's so much easier. Then yeah, easy peasy.
All right, we're gonna do a contested check here,
Okay.
squad. I'm gonna have Tilda roll vigilance.
Okay.
Danny roll stealth.
Okay.
Not great.
I need to pick up a talent for sneaking, I think. If there are any of those.
Probably.
0 successes.
2 successes.
Okay, so Danny wins. Die goes to the sneaker. Is a joke that I wanted to make. Yeah. Tilda, you are distracted by this conversation with Justina, and having had like 3 scotches at this point, Danny very quietly open the window, and I assume with one of your bags slung over your back.
Yeah, at least
some things
yeah,
in it.
their doctor's bag, their medical supplies.
You climb out the window and land not super softly. The beaches here are for the most part, until you get like right up to the water where there's like sand and everything, the landscape here is pretty rocky. So you sort of land on the granite outside the inn. Wait for a second. Don't hear the door or anything. Vaguely hear Tilda talking out in the hallway.
We'll head off for their plans. I don't know if you want to do this first or before.
Yeah, let's just do that first. And then we'll do the seance while you're gone.
Okay.
So where do you go?
There were 2 places that I was kind of interested in checking out. The estate of the last name. Did we have a last name for Zacharias?
Mm-hmm.
Amundsen.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Also known as the Herring Baron.
Yes. How close is
that? That's the title
that?
I really love.
How close is that?
Or the
to
heron, if you will.
The heron. How close is that to the warehouse?
It's close. This is not a large island. It's more of a rock.
Okay.
In the water. But essentially the warehouse is in the center. The inn is on one side. The house is on the other.
Okay. Then wants to like starting about where the inn was, or starting like closer to where the warehouse was, sort of scour for any evidence or anything, checking in like if there's any like high brush or anything or plant growth or something, looking for signs of blood, the pistol, anything like that, kind of searching around there in the direction kind of heading towards the house. Also looking to see if there's a graveyard here.
You look around again. Wrecker Isle is a relatively small aisle. You can see from one end to the other pretty easily. And most of it is this kind of rocky, kind of granite surface. You look around, you think about it. They probably wouldn't be able to bury anybody on this rock.
That's what I thought. Just wanted to
ask. You look around, you creep closer to the house and everything. Again, there's not really any vegetation or anything on it. You look around, you don't really find anything. Kind of get very close to the water where everything's a little bit smaller and it's more like sand. No giant bloodstains or shiny guns in the moonlight.
So there's the inn. So it's only those 3 buildings here?
Mm-hmm.
No, they're residents or anything for like the other people that live here? Okay.
Not here. Most of the homes and everything were back in Fjallbacka across the water.
Okay. If doesn't find anything between here and the house, wants to go back over the warehouse where they pointed out that they saw those silhouettes in the window, and double check around there to see if there was any trace of where they might have gone.
Okay. Yeah. You look around. Again, sort of coming up to the warehouse, there is kind of a coarse sand, as it's near the water. You look around, you do see a couple of sets of footprints that are sort of pressed into the sand that's still wet from the rain earlier. And you see them, they move off from that window sort of in the direction of the inn and then kind of get mingled in with the other footprints that you probably left before.
It's not much for Danny to get into in the island. When to get them into trouble. Probably just, again, kind of pokes around more, just now that there's some peace and quiet, looking for more evidence. Probably goes over to the beach, digs around over there to see if there was anything that we might have missed the first time. And just does a loop around the island, just looking for anything out of the ordinary and anything to get into.
Okay.
Short of breaking into the house of the Amundsen family. Oh, do they have like a shed or anything?
No.
Okay.
It's just a very large house. You do a loop around the island. You don't find much. At one point, you come upon a couple of dead herring that have washed up on the beach. Go ahead and roll vigilance.
Okay.
For me.
We cleared our exhausted condition when we left the saltery, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. Those of you that were exhausted, you are no longer exhausted.
All right. Vigilance.
I forgot about
that. 1 success.
Okay.
And I have extras if I need them.
Okay, yeah, you just need the one. You walk down the beach, and you see these couple of dead herring, these silver fish, their scales kind of glinting in the moonlight. And as you walk by them, Danni, you swear you hear a voice.
Hello?
You say hello, you stop, and you look down and you see one of these fish. It's sort of laying on its side. You see its eye move and look in your direction.
Kind of squats down next to the fish. Prods at it a little bit to see if it's still alive.
You're pretty sure it's dead until its mouth starts to move. And it moves a couple of times, sort of opening, and then it opens its mouth wide, and you hear this voice come out of the fish, and it just says, "Watch the moon, Doctor." And then it stops.
I think Danni sort of like freaks out a bit and like falls back onto their butt after the fish speaks. Their glasses sort of falling askew a bit. Did that fish just speak to me? Did you just speak to me?
Nothing.
Looks around, see if there's anybody else here. Looks up at the moon.
It's the same moon that was out before. It's almost full. It's pretty bright.
Perhaps I'm more exhausted than I thought. Damn it. I think it reaches into their medical bag, maybe pulls out like a piece of cloth or something, wraps the fish up in it, tucks it back in their bag.
Okay. You have a dead fish wrapped in cloth in your bag.
And I think they're going to do the only thing that would make sense to them. So there's nothing else, kind of walked around, doesn't see much else, and I think at this point is more focused on this. Heads back to the inn. To go back to the room to dissect this fish to see if there's any explanation for what they just saw, but doesn't go back through the window, walks in through the front door and goes down the hallway.
Tilda, you've had a lot of scotch at this point, and you're sort of half awake, leaning back in the chair, and Danni comes walking down the hallway and goes into their room.
Oh no, she would walk in front of them first.
You were stopped by a Tilda.
I think Danni was taking notes in like a journal and probably just like runs into her, stops, finally realizing she's there. May I return to my room, please?
Oh, are you?
I was going for a walk.
Through your window.
Well, you seem quite preoccupied out here. I didn't want to interrupt.
What were you doing?
I was doing exactly as I said, and I was going for a walk. I went to the warehouse, decided to look
By
for
yourself?
Yes, I find it easy to focus in quiet.
Looks around, doesn't want to yell at them in the hallway where everyone is. Grabs their arm, opens their door, pulls them inside. What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry, this is very inappropriate.
Do you understand where we are right now? Do you understand
Yes.
the power that this family holds? Do you understand how foolish it was for you to go traipsing around by yourself past midnight after we'd been threatened by 2 men with guns?
I'm... Reaches in their bag, pulls out the herring, throws it down on the desk.
You risked your life to go out and catch a fish? There is nothing but fish in this place. This entire island might as well be shaped like a goddamn fish.
The fish speak. The fish spoke to me.
Oh my god, that's it.
Puts hands on their shoulders. I understand addiction, all right? I do. I've met several individuals along the way that it is not a moral failing, all right? It is not. It is something that can be overcome.
I believe there's a misunderstanding here. I am not requiring any sort of substance. I have never once taken opiates. I very rarely drink. I understand the dangers and the side effects of taking such substances better than most. I understand that it is very common in my profession to do so. This was not that. This fish spoke to me. And I need to understand why. So if you'll excuse me, I have work to do.
Oh, you think after you tell me that the fish spoke to you, I'm gonna let you find this out all by yourself? All right, make it talk.
Well, it seems to be dead now. But I need to know what caused it to speak. If you wish to assist me, you may stay.
All right. Pour yourself another scotch. I was going to read a novel, but this is far more entertaining. Please, by all means, continue with your study of the talking fish.
I find this quite serious. Don't appreciate your drunken musings.
I'm not drunk, Doctor. If I was, believe me, you would know.
Right. Danny grabs their medical bag, opens it on the desk next to the fish, and begins very seriously disassembling this fish to figure out why it spoke.
Okay, roll medicine.
Okay. Now this is the one where I get to ignore conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Yes. That's one success.
Okay. You do a very dexterous, very skilled autopsy
Fillet of fish.
of a herring. It's a fish. Of that, you are certain.
Okay.
It is exactly what you expected to find inside of a fish.
No strange mutations or a...
No voice box. Doesn't even have lips. Danny, it's just a fish.
Sits back in their chair. I think, like, reaches back to take the bottle from Tilda.
By all means.
It's just a fish.
Yes.
Fish can't speak.
Well, as we found, burning dog bones generally shouldn't create a spectral hound that can murder people. But apparently it did.
But I didn't see that. I had theories on how that could have... on why that creature... This is just a fish. Fish can't speak. This fish spoke.
Perhaps it's a magical fish.
It's not. It's just a fish.
Perhaps whatever creature caused the fish to speak is magical.
You can understand why this troubles me.
Perhaps when it spoke to you, it was still under the guise of the previous magic. Then once it died, the magic wore away. So perhaps, before it died, it had a vocal box and lips. Has another sip of her scotch.
I don't know what to make of this.
Doctor, why your adherence to nothing but science is, well, most of the time infuriating, but at times admirable. I think you're going to feel a lot better in certain situations that we are most certainly going to encounter if you just let things go sometimes. Just understand that sometimes strange and unknowable phenomenon are going to happen. Sometimes you can explain them, sometimes you cannot.
I reject that premise. Everything can be explained. I will explain this. I just don't know how.
All right, that's, well,
The fish
a
knew
different way.
I was a doctor.
Did it ask you to save it? Tilda is laughing. She's 100% laughing. She's got the giggles.
Danny is not. That's what's making this hard. It told me to watch the moon.
To watch the moon?
The moon.
Did it wish to have a romantic stroll one more moment before it died? I'm sorry. Oh, all right. It told you to watch the moon. Right.
Yes.
So, perhaps whatever strange goings on this island have something to do with the moon.
Perhaps.
There
Whatever.
are some basin that are supposedly attached to the moon in its cycles, yes? I vaguely remember reading something about that back at the library.
Yes. If we are to believe that there is some sort of creature, some basin behind this, it had the power to speak through the dead.
Tilda stops laughing.
And it asked for me to watch the moon.
Tilda looks outside the window really quickly. At the moon, ostensibly. You said the moon was almost full? So we shall watch the moon.
Right. I need...
If you are settled for the remainder of the evening, Doctor, I shall return to my room. Excuse me. And she'll take her scotch and leave briskly.
Right. Danny sits back down, looks at the fish for a bit. Anything else? I thought not. Begins to take notes for the rest of the evening until they turn in.
Okay. You take notes for the rest of the evening. That feels like a good place to take a quick break, because when we come back, we're going to do a seance. But I'm super excited about. So thanks for hanging out with us, everybody, so far. We will be back in a very quick few minutes to see what happens next. So stick around for a seance and more fish jokes, probably. We'll see you soon. And welcome back, Internet. Thank you for hanging out with us during our break. We are refreshed and full of attitude and ready to go. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Is Tilda about to die because I inadvertently snitched? Is that what's going to happen? I'm really sorry. It was...
It's an arc.
Don't.
I'm sorry.
You're the one who did it, Savannah.
I fear
Again.
Savvy's wrath, but I fear LB's more. I'm sorry.
We spent the break fighting about neon souls.
I fear LB's wrath a little bit more in this situation, and I straight up thought that she was going to come at me in my DMs and be like, I know, just tell me. So I'm just saying, I was very scared.
That's a bold thing to say as somebody sitting in the GM chair.
I'm ready for it. I know. As soon as you said narc, I was like, I'm about to be punished. Okay, I accept this. I accept this.
Sid narked on me.
It was an accident. I thought I was in trouble.
Okay. We all love each other so much here on this channel.
Too much, it seems.
Way too much is the problem. I'm just kidding. It's not a problem at all. So, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us. Sid's a narc, and we're gonna pick back up where we left. So, while all of this other get out of the chat, LB, hack 'em up. We're playing a game. No, we're absolutely joking. Just in case anyone who doesn't know us watches this video, this is a bit that we're doing. You know how we love those. I should put that on a t-shirt. This is a bit.
Don't worry, it's a bit. That's what we do. We love those.
Yeah. We love those. So we are going to pick back up while all of this other drama, I would say, is going on. I want to go to Alina and Villy, who are in Alina's room currently, I think. Is what we established?
Yes.
Okay. So in Alina's room, you are setting up for a seance. What does that look like?
No, I don't think it looks how you would expect it to look. Like, she has a crystal ball and she does take it out, but she, for the most part, she's just kind of sitting on the bed and she just has it in her lap and is just kind of like, are you ready?
Yes, of course. Is there anything you want me to do specifically?
If something goes wrong, do you think you can knock me out?
I'm sorry?
I mean, I haven't done this before, and I was just if I am providing myself as a conduit to speak to the dead, and something goes wrong, you should probably knock me out.
There are ways that I can do that where it won't harm you a lot.
Okay, perfect.
I would rather not do that.
Well, then I'll just make sure nothing goes wrong.
Good. Right. Okay. Sits down, visibly more worried.
All right. Well, I suppose let's do it. So I'm going to use medium, which is you can use observation to perform seances where you predict people's futures and contact the dead. Extra successes provide more information, prolong the contact, or cause spirits to materialize. On failure, you're given inaccurate information, attacked, or suffer a condition.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm going to use observation.
Let's do it. Go ahead and roll observation.
And I have a +1 because of my crystal ball.
Yes.
That's 1 success.
Okay.
So I'm not attacked today by a ghost.
You're not attacked or possessed. Oh, we have a chat redemption. Who it's for?
It's for LB. To LB for being
Thanks,
called
chat.
out.
All right. So thank you for the extra die, Mecca. LB, on Villy's next roll, you can add an extra die. If you would like to participate in donating things to our wonderful cast, you can use the chat command die because it was the easiest one for that. So Alina, you sit with the crystal ball in your lap. Villy, you sit nearby watching and ready. And Alina, you concentrate. The mist starts to swell up in the crystal ball again. And as it's done only one other time before, you start to see a dim glow coming from somewhere within that mist. Do you say anything?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Oh, not to you.
Oh, sorry.
You say hello. And both of you hear a quiet voice, almost as if somebody is sort of sitting right next to you, talking quietly in your ear. And it just says, hello?
What's the name of the guy who died?
Vicar Carl Eric Hedkevist.
Is this Vicar Carl?
How did you find me?
I just reached out.
There's a silence in the room.
So we were kind of hoping that you could tell us some things.
What do you wish to know?
How did you die?
the voice is silent for a moment, and then the two of you hear this loud crack in the center of the room. It sounds like a gunshot going off.
And could you tell us who shot you?
The Baron.
Why?
The moon. A sacrifice.
A sacrifice for the moon?
No. On the moon. Under the moon. Go to the deep reef. You'll find her there.
Her?
His mother.
Oh.
Can I hear this?
Mhm.
I'm sorry, whose mother?
The Baron.
And are they human?
Not in the slightest.
Vicar, I hope you're doing okay over there.
There's just silence.
Is there anything we should know about the Baron and his mother?
They're of the sea.
Of the sea. Did you notice any weather controls? And are the other brothers in this at all?
They know.
But they're not creatures?
No.
And is it only money they're getting out of this?
There's a moment of silence, and you hear almost like a small laugh from the voice. That's enough for most people.
Well, as you said, they aren't people.
Just silence.
Is there anything else you wanted to ask?
Well, I feel like I have a lot of questions, but I don't know if we would get the answers to them.
What about Oscar? Do you have anything you'd like to say to him?
Tell him to leave this place.
And Do you know anything about his relationship to Justina?
Loves her.
Right. Is there anything we can do for you?
Let me rest.
Right away. I guess Alina just kind of, whatever she was able to open in her mind and soul or whatever, she now kind of pushes out and closes up.
Okay. You sort of close off that part of yourself that is opened up and allowed this to happen. And Alina, as you do this, just almost like a whisper, right before he leaves you, you hear the vicar say, "Watch the moon. It's almost time." And he fades away.
Well, very good. You did a very good job.
Thank you. I do think that was productive.
Yes. Are you all right?
I feel a little tired. I think I might go to bed.
All right. Do you want anything?
No, I think I'm okay.
Do you want me to stay and sing?
That'd be nice.
She'll help Alina get ready for bed and stroke her hair and sing a nice lullaby as she goes to sleep.
Okay. Anything else for the evening?
This is probably not advisable, given the amount of alcohol that she has had. But after the doctor's revelation about whatever this thing was, being able to control things that are dead or dying, yeah, Tilda's gonna do her whole writing thing.
Okay. Just getting all the ghosts up in here tonight.
You know why not? It's one of those nights.
I think Philly's gonna go drink at the bar, so I don't know how that's gonna affect what you're doing at all.
She's up in her room. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
have it.
Spirits, automatic writing. You can use inspiration to gain clues. And momentary insights. If I fail, I could have a personality change or be possessed, and that could last for 1d6 hours. All right, here we go. That is 4 successes. Holy shit. And I can use extra successes for extra clues.
You can. All right. So, Tilda, you sit down in your room and try to focus. You take out some paper and a pen, and you let whatever energy it is that takes you over during these times, do so. And you begin to write. You write for...
If it's helpful, it could be about this, or honestly, she has more in her mind, kind of her trauma. I think that's more leaning toward what she's asking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Tilda, you let whatever this is take over. And you write for a while. It's almost as if you're asleep while this happens. You are after, you're not sure how much time after this has taken place, you are awakened by what sounds like a crack of thunder. And you look down at the paper and you haven't written anything. You've drawn something. At first, it's what looks like, you're not sure, a few random shapes, some of them round, some of them oblong, none of them with angles or anything like that. And one of them, you've sort of drawn a large, almost like an X, like a marking over top of it, sort of over and over and over again. Like you've scribbled it in, and it doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't make any sense. And then all of a sudden, it does. Because it looks very similar to a section of the map that Danni showed you when you were first getting ready to come out here to the archipelago.
Can she remember what area that she's marked that X over?
And you can spend another success too.
Sure.
Okay. So Danni, and you can all see the map. Danni has this map essentially of the full Fjallbaka archipelago, with Fjallbaka on the most eastern side and everything sort of spreading out this way. This part with all of its sort of small islands and everything is very reminiscent of sort of the whole like top left section of the map, where you remember sort of Graveyard Isle being.
Yep.
And then several small islands sort of fanning out to the north of that.
And that's kind of where the X is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. She checks the window to make sure that it wasn't thunder.
Nope, clear skies.
Finishes the last of her scotch and goes to bed.
Okay. Everybody else going to bed. Villy, you head out and go to have a drink at the bar. Anything you want to do?
How late is it now?
Incredibly.
Yeah.
It's very late. It is pushing early hours of the morning at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I think she'll get a good drink. Is the owner there?
Abella,
Right.
yes. Yeah, she is sort of taken up she's no longer tending bar, but she's sort of taken up a spot in the corner, sort of behind the bar, sitting on a barrel, just kind of watching.
Villy will raise her drink to the madam and say, I enjoy the quiet. It's quite late. Are you usually up here at this time?
Oh, yes. I'm up here till the last one leaves or goes to bed.
I'm sorry to keep you awake. I'll finish my drink quickly.
It's no trouble.
It's a lovely island you've got here.
Thank you. It's a rock. Most people don't say as such.
I don't mind the smell very much. I've been worse places.
Then I'm sorry to hear that.
We've been invited to the manor for dinner tomorrow. Will we be seeing you there?
Of course.
Is there anything you'd like us to bring?
No, child. We are well provided for.
Good. And will there be space for me to take up service for my master?
Of course.
Good. Is there anything I should know before I go?
Remind me, which one is your master?
Well, it depends really. Normally it's doctor, but in travel I service all of them.
I see.
Depends on who's in charge.
And that changes day to day.
It depends on the trip. And who's it for?
You travel often then?
More now than before.
Before what?
Before I came in service with this group. I was serving a family before, a very young child, and helped raise him. And wasn't much traveling there, just getting them to school and teaching and helping with things around the house.
It's an odd group you've got.
I'm not one to judge.
But you do.
I could. But I found they're all unique and great in their own ways.
So, what do you usually travel for?
Most of it's none of my business. I don't like to take up too much in the ways of asking questions. I'm just there to make sure they get their food and any amenities that they need.
And those of us that serve here more than those we serve could ever dream of.
Yes. But I wouldn't have it any other way. If I'm not doing that, I don't know what to do with myself.
So that's it then. You just travel to serve.
I serve, and that makes me travel.
Well, I suppose I ought to be heading off to bed.
I'll be seeing you tomorrow then.
Looking forward to it.
She raises
What
her
was your
glass.
name?
Villy.
Looking forward to it, Villy.
Ma'am?
She nods, gets up off the barrel, heads off to bed.
Billy finishes her drink and does the same, making sure. I think what she does is she, like, at each door gives a ear to make sure everyone's gone to bed and isn't, like, tossing and turning because they had a day, and then we'll go to bed.
Is anyone tossing and turning and or up to any shenanigans?
Danny just probably fell asleep at their desk. Like
Okay.
a couple inches away from the fish.
The fish. All right. So no, you don't hear anything at the doors. You head off to bed, and everyone gets some sleep. Varying degrees of sleep, I would say. But y'all wake up the next morning. No worse for wear. What would you like to do?
I think if anyone else is already up, Danny comes down for breakfast or whatever to the main, or comes into the main area, has the fish, and just walks up to one of the serving people, Justine, or wait, what was her name? Is that it? Justina. She says, might somebody dispose of this for me?
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
Hand over the fish.
Tilda probably comes down a little bit later. Do you have that map on you, Doctor?
Yes.
May I see it, please?
Here you are.
Takes out what she drew. Anyone fancy a day trip?
Are we done with our business here?
No, I don't think so. We have the dinner this evening, but I need to go here.
Where is
Sorry?
that?
Well, if my spatial awareness serves me right, it appears somewhere here near Graveyard Isle.
For what purpose?
I don't entirely know, but it's important.
Well, I'm sort of out of leads here, as far as my ideas for who to speak with, short of our dinner plans for tonight.
Wasn't there someone, Billy, when we were coming over on the ferry, there's someone that lived near Graveyard Isle? An Orvar, was it?
Yes. Yes.
Justina?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know of an Orvar?
Oh, yes, of course. He comes in all the time.
If and when he comes in this morning, would you mind pointing him out to us?
Sure. He's usually in for breakfast, so shouldn't be long.
Thank you. With the little bit of pocket money that I have, I will tip her.
Thank you, ma'am.
Guess Alina comes downstairs around that time. Good morning.
Good morning, miss.
Did everyone sleep okay?
Well enough.
Perfectly well.
A significant lack of it, but yes, fine.
Well, I slept fine, thank you.
How was the
Seance?
event? Yes, that.
Oh, it was very good. We talked to the vicar a little bit.
Is anyone listening in on this conversation? Can I take a look?
There's a few folks sitting around having breakfast.
Perhaps now's not the best time to be speaking of this.
Why not?
We don't want anyone overhearing.
Well, they'll just think I'm crazy.
Well, I don't want that.
I don't mind. But if it makes you more comfortable, we can wait.
Thank you.
Well, if we need to take a trip to this spot that Tilda has noticed, perhaps we can discuss along the way.
We taking a trip?
Yes, I had a bit of inspiration, you can say. I need to go here.
All right.
Well, I suppose we could traverse there and be back before evening.
Guess we wait for Orvar.
Okay. You wait for a bit. Around this time, Justina will point him out to you. An older man, a little bit, skinny, a little bit frail, with a long sort of salt and pepper beard, wearing a like a raincoat and hat. Comes in, takes a spot at a table in the corner. Justina, without even taking an order or anything, almost as if she has it ready, brings him a plate of food and an ale, and sets it down in front of him. Talks to him for just a second, and then walks away, and then sort of points him out to you. That's him. That's Olorvar.
Thank you. I'll
Of course.
finish his breakfast before bothering him.
If I might, be gentle with him. He's seen a lot of things.
Of course. Thank you.
I'll be over here if you need me. And she runs away. Go do something.
Noted. Let him finish eating and then walk over cautiously so as not to overwhelm him, I guess.
Okay. You walk over. Does Tilda go by herself?
Danny will go with her.
Yeah, I was gonna say if she wants someone to go with her.
She just starts walking over if someone joins her. That's fine.
Okay.
I should make sure that this is productive.
Char?
Danny follows.
Okay. So Tilda walks over towards Olorvar, who is finished his breakfast and his ale and is having another one. And Danny follows behind. He looks up at the two of you, sort of finishes what he's drinking, sets the tankard down, and just kind of stares at you.
Good morning. May we speak with you for a moment?
Yar yar.
Fairly charged. My name is Tilda. I had heard, as word travels fast around here, as I'm sure you know, that you live whereabouts the Graveyard Isle?
Why? What's it to you?
Well, to be quite frank, I was wondering if you might help us.
With what?
Well, I need to go here. Sort of shows where she's drawn on her piece of paper.
It looks like a bunch of beans to me.
Of course, if you can imagine the map of the Isle. Here.
You say you need to go there?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Why do you say that?
Because I say.
I fully take your opinion into account, sir. But I do believe quite strongly that I do need to go there.
No. That place is cursed. You don't need to go there. Nobody does.
What is there?
Nothing. Rocks. Herring. Nothing. Nothing for you.
If you say the place is cursed somehow, surely there's some grounds for the superstition.
It's not a superstition. It's true.
What about the place is cursed?
The whole thing, mostly.
Tilda tries not to laugh. She really likes this guy, actually. All right. Has it always been cursed, or did a particularly cursed event happen?
The deep reef only comes out of the water once a month. On a full moon. If that's not cursed, I don't know what is.
And it is almost the full moon.
Why?
I see. Is there something particularly bad that happens at that time?
All I know is that people don't come back.
Sir, I need to go there.
No. You don't. Whatever it is you think you need, what you actually need is to turn around and get back on whatever boat you came here on and have them take you back to your city.
Orva, could you look at something for me? She's going to take out the picture of the dog, the Vason dog.
Like we're just using this as our...
Hey, you know what?
Litmus
Your litmus
paper.
test.
I got it. It works. We're using it. She'll put it down on the table in front of him.
I'm looking.
What do you see?
That's a fine dog you got there.
Thank you.
If it's a matter of compensation, we can surely pay you for your troubles in taking us there.
No, my dear, it's a matter of I don't want to die.
Well, could you perhaps take us nearby? Enough for us to get there on our own.
And why would I do that?
The aforementioned compensation.
Have you roll manipulation?
Oh boy.
One of you.
Tilda-
Yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna
okay.
say, can Tilda do it?
I was like, can Tilda sit?
I mean, I've got some bank successes that might help, but that's
Yeah.
about it. I get to roll 3 dice. -1 because I'm angry.
Oh yeah, you're angry.
Oof. Well, on 8 dice, Tilda gets 0, but I also have some bank successes. May I use them?
Certainly may. You can use 2
Yes,
if
please.
you have it.
I do.
To
I have
convince
exactly
him.
2.
Okay, you can use both of them. What do you offer in the way of compensation?
Ova, I'm sure at this point the doctor is perfectly fine with offering double any standard rate you might usually charge to take anyone upon your vessel. First, I have a question for you, though. When did you come to possess your sight?
A very long time ago. Longer than you've been alive, I'd bet.
I believe you. We have come upon ours more recently. And mine tells me I need to go to this place. Now, I will assure you I have absolutely no intention of dying today. But perhaps if you join us, we can turn that into a certainty.
Your sight tells you you should go. My sight tells you you should leave.
A finicky thing, as it seems.
You're messing with things you don't understand.
I do not refute that charge in any way, sir.
But I often find people with enough money to pay me don't care. Fine. We'll go to the debrief. I can't promise you'll come back.
Oh,
But I can promise to take you there.
don't worry. If you get us there, I have the confidence to get us back.
Many a man has been killed by his confidence.
I am not a man, sir.
No. Tilda. You are not. We should go.
We'll
It's
get our
almost the
friends.
full moon.
Of course. Go gather the friends. Well, this place is called the Deep Reef, and he's agreed to take us.
Yes, I know about the debrief.
You do? All right, I suppose you can tell us on the way. And away we go.
And away you go. The 4 of you finish your breakfast, get your things, you get in a fishing boat with an old man who sees monsters in photos and believes in curses. and you sail away.
Danny's thrilled.
Just as we're getting on the boat.
Sid is thrilled. Tilda is
As-
fucking terrified.
As we're getting on the boat, Villy just leans over to Tilda. Oh, by the way, I think you're right about the relationship between the Reverend and the barmaiden.
I knew I might be, but how do you know?
Oh, we spoke to the vicar. And he said as much.
I love when I'm right. Well, duly noted. Although, I don't know necessarily if that affection is as warmly returned by Justina. She told me to assure Oscar that she's perfectly fine where she is.
Well, perhaps she's being held here for other reasons.
Perhaps. She seemed more upset about his insistence upon calling the place a den of sins.
You know, I haven't seen any ladies of the night, or men of the night for that matter.
No, me either. Perhaps we'll see them at dinner.
Right. So, you get on the boat. You take a quick water break, courtesy of the chat you didn't know was watching. Brilliant. And you sail away from Wrecker Isle. You are on Orvar's small, dilapidated, not entirely sure how it's still floating, fishing boat. For quite a while, a couple of hours pass. You sail past what you can assume to be Graveyard Isle. Orvar does not point it out to you, and he doesn't have to. You sail past this larger island following the map, Danny, that you have as best you can. You sail past this large, essentially from what you can see from your perspective, is this large stone outcropping with something atop it. There are lots of shadows up there, lots of small little points, I guess, that you can see until you get close. It looks like a cliff with a cemetery on top of it, essentially. You sail right on past. Orvar doesn't say anything. In fact, he doesn't say anything for the entire trip, unless anyone addresses him specifically.
Is it common practice to bury everyone in this region on this isle?
The ones we find.
Right. Interesting.
It's called Graveyard Isle.
Yes, I did not know that the moniker was literal.
Sailors aren't the most creative bunch.
I'm gathering as such.
You continue sailing for a while and make it. It takes probably. It takes a couple of hours to get past it on this small boat, and then you make it out into the sort of outskirts of the archipelago. There are several small stone islands sort of scattered about that you can see. The water is mostly calm, and eventually you start to get close. Orvar lets you know, sort of pointing out the deep reef to you, which to all of you looks like essentially a large boulder, almost like a sandbar, that is just barely cresting above the surface of the water as you approach. Is there anything you all would like to do before you get there?
You said you knew about this. Why?
Oh, well, the thing last night that I'm not supposed to talk about in front of others.
Oh, Oliver has the site, so go ahead.
Oh, well, there was a seance last night, and, we learned a great deal. Father's in love with Justinia. Let's see. Oh, yes, he said that a woman would be here, or that she lives here. The mother?
Yes, the mother of the Baron, who is he and she are both not human.
Yes.
Right.
He also said to watch the moon.
I was told something similar last night.
Oh, did you hold a seance too?
No, I spoke with a fish. I couldn't. I tried so hard.
Danny, I'm sure Danny says this completely,
Yes.
monotone with a straight face. Tilda bursts out laughing. I'm sorry. I know it was that.
So you spoke with a fish?
Yes, a dead fish.
So a ghost fish. So you did hold a seance?
No, the fish was corporeal.
So a zombie fish.
Yes, I suppose some sort of undead fish for the moment. It was very brief.
And the fish told you to watch the moon as well?
Yes, its exact words were, "Watch the moon, Doctor."
Oh. Well, at least it was a polite fish.
Yes.
Yes, it used your moniker. That's good.
Yes.
Yes, well, I'm glad you're getting involved in the more mythical side of things.
Well, I wouldn't say that much. I'm sure there's an explanation for it. I will determine it shortly.
Do you often come across talking live fish?
No.
So you're saying that you're sure there's a rational explanation for a talking dead fish?
Yes.
Without any evidence?
Simply because I have not found any does not mean there is none.
So
You're very strange.
Perhaps I am.
No. It's fine. The doctor just finds that they can believe in conjecture and a first-person point of view only when it suits them.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So, two sources to confirm the same warning.
Is it a warning?
I took it as such, but perhaps it has some other meaning.
Oh, and the Baron did kill the vicar, if we didn't mention that.
No, you had not.
That would have been pertinent to our reason to be here.
Yes, well, I told you now.
Thank you.
Did he say why?
Sacrifice?
On the moon or under the moon?
Under the moon. I don't think they actually went
Wait
to
a
the moon.
minute. What?
So this is a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of pagan ritual.
Apparently.
For the mother, if I remember correctly.
Zacharias' mother, who is not human.
The one who allegedly lives in this reef.
Right.
Orvar? Do you ever see a woman out here?
I don't think that's for me to say, miss.
Why not?
I see a lot of things.
Are you
Most
friends
people don't want to
with-
hear about them.
Are you friends with a woman out here?
No. Miss. Not in the slightest.
I see.
So there is a woman out here.
Like I've said, the deep reef is cursed. By what? I don't exactly know. But I wouldn't want to get on her bad side.
Well, I believe we should meet this mother.
That's your business, Doctor.
At least this way we can confirm whether she's here or not.
Would you have any idea of how to get on her good side?
No.
It felt worth asking. I mean, I would have felt the fool if you had known the whole time and I hadn't asked. Right. What's the weather look like?
It's a bit cloudy. But calm. The water is calm for the most part. It's cold out here, especially out this far. But yeah, it's a calm day.
You don't imagine we would need to get in the water to speak with her, would you? Staring up at the sky.
Well, I believe the whole purpose of this lunar business was that the reef comes to the surface.
Right, right. All right.
So aquaphobia as well.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
How long over will it take for the reef to be fully above the surface of the water?
Mostly there. It'll be a bit higher tomorrow.
Right.
But there should be enough to walk on. speaking of which, he moves to the front of the boat. As you all see, you are coming upon very quickly a very small island.
Okay.
Well, considering that we won't be able to swim back, perhaps, Olvar, we will wait for our return.
For a few minutes. Sure.
Well, let's crack on then.
Orvar carefully reaches out and lets the boat come to a stop just before this small stone island that has appeared. It is grayish in color, with little like flecks of brown across the rock. It looks a little bit different than the granite that most of the other islands are made of. It's definitely rock. Which kind? You're not sure. It's kind of strange looking. Do you all disembark?
Yes.
I hope this is not retcon. Would I been able to have taken the camera with us since we were potentially going to run into Vason?
Sure.
Thank you.
If you're gonna have time to set it up, who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see. You all step out, the four of you, onto this rock. It gives way under your feet just a little bit, almost like not quite as soft as mud, but just there's a little bit of give to it, as though it's been wet for a very long time. And you make your way sort of through and up to the center. You stand on the deep reef and you look around, and you're standing on a rock on the outskirts of the archipelago. What would you like to do?
Danny begins to investigate the rock with their magnifying glass.
Okay. Looking for?
I don't know. Whatever I find.
Okay. You know what? Roll investigation.
Angrily investigating the rock with my magnifying
Sure.
glass.
So angry.
That's one success, but I've got some extras, and we're reaching the end, so I can burn those and get up to 4 successes.
Okay. You have never seen this type of rock before. How much do Danny know about rock?
So I mean, is not a geologist, but I think has done some reading on geological formations and things like that. Their motivation is to describe more than just like anatomy and medical stuff. Is interested in the world at large, so I think has some basic information.
Okay.
Knows more than the average person.
It's not a rock that you've ever seen before. It is similar in color to the granite of the rest of the archipelago, except for the sort of flecks of like brown and red that sort of move throughout it. It is a little bit softer than you would expect, but if what you've been told about this island is true, it is, it to have been underwater for most of a month. And then it surfaces based on the tides, probably. Or a curse. Maybe. Either one. But it's a little bit less solid, especially than you would expect, like granite or something like that to be. But you can see sort of across it, maybe sort of explaining some of that. It's got very, very small, almost like just a little bit bigger than pinpricks, kind of holes across it, like pores, like you would expect like a lava rock or something to have, which would explain a little bit of the getting softer in water, that kind of thing. So it's a little bit different.
Okay, but no, like
than the rest of the chain.
No fissures or deformations to it, and like openings along the surface.
It's one solid piece.
Does this seem like unnaturally smooth? Like it might be carved? See, it's like a circular or like a dome?
No, I mean it's got some irregularities like a small island would have. It's pretty smooth. You can probably attribute a lot of that being to it exists mostly underneath salt water for most of the month.
Well, this isn't a type of rock formation that I'm familiar with. It seems to be porous. But other than that, I see nothing significant about it.
Alina, do you feel anything?
Do I feel anything?
What kind of thing?
Thinking. Do I feel anything living nearby that isn't us?
Interesting. Go ahead and roll, I guess, observation.
Okay. 2 successes.
Okay. Yes. You do. Alina, you stand sort of in the center of this very small island on this reef, essentially, for a moment, and sort of open yourself up to your surroundings. Tilda is there, Villy is there, the doctor is there, and you feel 2 other presences alongside those. They are almost overwhelming as you open yourself up. You are almost sort of hit with a large amount of energy coming from the 2 of them. It subsides after a moment, but it's a little bit shocking to the system. There's something that's putting off a lot more energy than your 3 companions are in very close proximity to you.
There's something or someone, 2 someones here with us. Very close.
Is this not ground?
I'm not so sure that it is.
Perhaps we should get off it then.
Perhaps we should.
You say this. The four of you, as you decide, perhaps it's time to leave. You feel from underneath your feet just a little uneasiness, just the smallest bit of rumbling. And just as quick as it starts, it stops. And then you hear a splashing from one side of the rock, and over this this little bit of like this little hump in the rock, you hear the sounds of something coming out of the water. You see over top two webbed hands as something pulls itself up and comes to rest on the outcropping in front of you. And what you see initially is a woman, a face, a beautiful, if harsh looking face, sort of high pointed cheekbones, bright green eyes, scales across her face, long, wet green hair, her webbed fingers sort of pulling herself up. And from behind the rock, you see just a flash of not legs, but a fishtail. And she looks at all of you and then speaks quietly, but at a level that you all can hear. You're a day early. Where is my son? And that is where we're going to end our session for today. As you encounter the creature of the deep reef. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us today. Thank you to my lovely players for going on this adventure with me today. We have some questions that I can ask you for you to get experience points for. And I want to do those very quickly. Number one, did you participate in the session? Obviously,
Yes,
and always. No.
No participation from Val at
No,
all.
I didn't. Actively and always. Did you confront any Vason?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say so. The creature, you don't know what it is.
Say
just
it,
a lady.
Morgan. Say
it's
it.
just a lady with a
Say
fishtail.
Say it.
Say it.
The mermaid of the deep reef. Yes, I would say you encountered her. Did you identify a previously unknown Vason?
Yes, because you
Yes.
just told us it was a mermaid.
No, you didn't.
It doesn't say
You
my
can
character, just says
No,
you.
you can have that one. It's pretty freaking obvious.
I was gonna ask, like, do we get that because all of us just know what a mermaid is?
Yeah, no, that's lore. That's sort of regional lore that you all would be at least somewhat familiar with. So yes, you can have that one. Okay, that's 3. 4, were you affected by your dark secret?
Yes.
Extremely. Danny, jeez.
Yes.
Shenanigans.
Grave robbing.
Shenanigans.
Unnatural lust.
For dead
Picking up
fish?
dead things and bringing them back to your hotel room.
It is my dark secret.
Yo, weirdo. Did you take risks to protect other people?
I risked doing a seance.
That
is
is
true.
incredibly dangerous and very risky.
Well, maybe
Standing post outside Danny's room to make sure they don't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
That count? Okay.
Yeah.
Danni went out on their own at night to look for clues so that the others wouldn't have to.
I know.
To protect other people.
Definitely.
Not. Definitely not.
Nah, they weren't really doing it to protect anyone.
Have you learned anything? What?
Yes.
So much.
So many
So
things.
much. You're doing so much investigating, and I honestly don't know how to handle it with this group. Shocks me every time. Yes, you've learned many things. Did you develop something in your headquarters? No. Did you perform an extraordinary action?
I did. I did
Yes.
a seance.
You did a whole seance.
I did unconscious cartography is kind of what I did this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go
I
with
spoke
that
with the dead fish and then took it apart.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a lot.
You believed something was possible based solely on conjecture.
Pretty extraordinary.
At least
All
for
right.
Danni it is.
Those are your questions. Mark down your XP. I hope you're keeping
Whoops.
track of them.
Mm-hmm.
I have leveled up.
Congratulations.
exactly what I'm getting. I am taking a talent called Well Traveled. Once per mystery, you can make a manipulation test to create an NPC who's situated in the area. And you,
Oh, I
who you
love
have
that.
met before. I'm just
love
taking
it.
contacts in every game.
I love it when I don't have to make NPCs and someone else does it for me.
Yeah.
Because I sit here and go, yeah, there's definitely a person there, and yeah, their name is definitely whatever name I come up with in the moment, which is just me making enough noise to give myself enough time to go to fantasynamegenerator.com
Oh, 100.
and then come up with something. Yeah, I love it.
If I fail, I can still create the person, but they are either very hostile toward me in the internum between the last time I met them, or they are gravely in need of my help right away.
Oh, I like that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. I like everything about that.
Me too.
I have my stealth so I can get away with more.
Yes.
I up my physical combat because of the situation we're in.
Yes. Seems reasonable to me. Are you guys gonna fight a mermaid?
Oh,
I'll
No.
fight
I'm
a
gonna
mermaid.
ask why I was
You
brought
can't
here.
talk to her.
Oh, we can talk to her, but when inevitably it turns to the fact that we have to fight her, I'm ready.
No.
I want the body.
Inevitably.
Fight her.
But I want the body.
That's
No.
fine.
We're not fighting her.
I want to dissect a mermaid.
She
No.
is killing people.
This is extremely upsetting.
don't
Well, we
know
don't
that.
know she's killing
We
people.
don't know that.
There are people being killed for her.
This is
Maybe.
She's
extremely
being
upsetting.
visited by her
Maybe.
son once a month. That's all we know.
They said that there was a sacrifice to her. That was said.
Which he could
To
have done
the
that she
moon.
might not have asked for.
Under
On
the
the-
moon.
On the
We're-
moon, even.
On the
On
moon,
the
maybe.
moon.
And there were two
You ever say
presences.
something as a GM and then immediately regret it?
See, that's funny because my Monday night group, we were on the moon. We are on the moon right now. I was
When I
"Wait,
said
is it
on the
happening
moon,
again?"
Well, that's just
I didn't
silly.
mean literally on the moon.
Nope.
Is that
that's
what
not-
I said? Absolutely.
And that's what it is now. They were on the moon.
On the moon.
And that's why we're on the moon. New t-shirt. Coming soon to the merch store. And
Anyway,
it's a
there's-
mermaid jumping over the moon.
Anyway, there's a mermaid on the moon now. That's what I've done. I said the words on the moon, and in my head, what I meant made perfect sense. And you guys went, on the moon? You idiot.
No, we just thought this was becoming a space thing, and we were gonna have to do the / sci-fi.
No.
I just
No.
had flashbacks. I have PTSD. My character died on the moon, so twice actually.
No.
Oh no.
Listen, we all make mistakes. Sometimes you just say on the moon, not thinking about it. Anyway, that's our game for today. It was certainly something.
Yes, it was.
And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, everybody. If you are out there in chat hanging out with us live, thank you so much. We are so glad that you were here to experience this with us as it was happening, because it was something. And then everybody who is watching this later on, either on VOD or on YouTube, thank you as well. We really, really appreciate you being there and supporting us, even in the future or on the moon, if that's where you are. We will be back for the next episode of Thursday's Children 1 week from today. It's August 8th, Sunday, August 8th. Today's August. Happy August, everyone. I'm so proud of all of you, and good luck with starting school this week, probably, if you're in the United States where we start school very early.
Thanks.
And that's all I have to say about August, I guess. Does anybody have anything they would like to plug before we go away?
I'll be you first.
Watch it, Playthings of the Gods at 8:30 p.m. EST tonight.
I'll be there.
Woo!
And then tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern, you can watch on twitch.tv/InfiniteRP our Flames of Freedom game. There's our GM is in chat. Hi, Doc. And Wally was in there. Hey, Wally, what's up? Fantastic cast, fantastic GM. It's Flames of Freedom. It's the Revolutionary War plus Eldritch Horror. It's awesome. Come check it out.
All right. Well, on that note, we will say goodbye for today. One more time, we will be back for this show in 1 week's time, same place here on Game Nights. Our next live stream is on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so you can catch our Masks game, the Squire Squad, then on Tabletop Tuesdays, and then all of our other regularly scheduled shows throughout the week. We are so pleased to have had you all with us here today. We love you very much, and yeah, I think that's it. So until next time, we will see you very soon, and good game, and good night, Internet.